Hello students. So in this video we are going to continue with the previous topic which we were studying in the previous video, which was passing a list to a function. Okay. So I've already explained this example to you all. What was there in this example? Here we are passing a list as an argument. Okay. What it is doing here, this ID and this list has been passed. This 259 is a list having three elements. Okay. Things is a list having three elements here. This was passed to the function which is double stuff. Okay, this double stuff is a function to which is this list has been passed. Okay, and then we have seen that we have doubled all these elements. Okay, but even after doubling you can see that the same list has been changed. Okay, within that function, defined function, what is there, the same list has been changed and modified, and that change has been also been reflected in the main program. After returning from the function in the main program, also we can see that when we printed the id of the object, which was passed, we have seen that it has not been modified, and it is the same object which has been modified by the function. So from this we can conclude that because the lists were mutable, that is why the defining function received the object parameter and that so the object reference, and that object reference was the list was used to modify the original list within the function, and then after modification it was returned back to the main function, and that same main function and the modified value was also reflected in the object in the main function also. Okay, that you can see that after printing, when you print things list in the main function in line number 12, then again you can see that it is showing the modified value. Okay, if it was not modified and if it was only if only the value was copied, like in the case of what happens in the case of immutable objects, first a copy of the data is created. Okay, the object reference is received, and then the copy of the value is created. Okay, and then what happens then, on that copy that the modification is carried out. Okay, and then that modified value becomes a different object. Okay, and that different object has scope only within the function itself. Okay, after the function is added, it has no scope. That was in the case of immutable objects, but here you can see that the original list was modified in this case, and it has scope in the main program itself. Okay, that is why in line number 12, when you print this list, we have the value as 4, 10 and 18. Okay, so now we are going to understand this. Okay, so now here the same the same previous example has now it has been explained in a better way. Here you can understand this with the help of this figure. Okay, in this figure it is showing that how this list has been passed. See, this parameter was a list here. Okay, and that what happens, this the variable things what, and see the same object was being referred by the two variables. Okay, things as well as a list, both were holding the parameters of the same thing. A list was the parameter which was the parameter of the function. Double stuff, it was having a list as a parameter, and the things was the list which was passed as an argument in the main function. Okay, so you can see that both were referring to the same object. Okay, and then what happens within the function, these objects were modified. Okay, and then after modification the list was returned which was referring to the same object which was earlier passed to it as the argument. So that argument which was passed an argument to the function, the function modified that argument itself, that original list itself, and then after the modification was done, it returned that original list to the calling function which was the main function. Okay, since the list object is shared by the two references, there is only one copy. Okay, what happens in the case of pass by value, what happens, two copies are created. One is referred by the original value, original object, and one is the duplicate value, or you can say that it is the copied object. Okay, that copied object is only having the local scope of the function only. As soon as we get out of the function, that object will not have any existence or not any scope. So it will not have any scope in the main function. That is why we see in the case of immutable objects, any changes which are carried on in the function, they are on the copy of the data itself, the copy of the object, and the modifications are not carried out on the original object. Okay, which is passed on. The object which is passed on is remains itself in the function. The modification is done in the copy of the object. Okay, that is why when you return from the function in the case of immutable objects like string or numbers, integers, we see that the original values are not modified. Okay, because in that case two copies of the objects have been created. One is for the local function in which modification is being done, and the original object reference will be remain as it is. Okay, there is no modification to the original object. Okay, now I think this is explained properly. Okay, if a function modifies the elements of a list parameter, the caller sees a change since the change is occurring to the original in this case. Okay, now we will understand one more type of parameter passing, which is passing string to a function. Okay, so now what we are, all of us know what is the type of a string, immutable or mutable or immutable. Yes, it is immutable. Okay, lists are mutable means they can be changed, they can be modified at place. Okay, like it means that we can by assignment, using assignment operator, we can modify the values of a list, okay, at the index place itself. Okay, if an index is holding any, if the, for example, if the index value at place 2 is having any specific value, then just by using the assignment operator we can assign the different values to a list. Okay, this means that they are modifiable. This is the meaning of mutable. Okay, but in the case of strings are immutable, means by using assignment operator, by any other operator or function, we will not be able to modify the values once they are assigned. Once a immutable object is created, like a string or a tuple, then its values can't be modified just by using any function or an assignment operator. Okay, so when they are passed then in a function, then what will happen? I've told you, then pass by value type of object referencing will parameter passing will take place. Actually, in both the cases, the parameter passing is using the pass by object reference only. Parameter passing is the same in the both the cases. The same mechanism is taking place. But what the difference is between the handling of the object in the two cases. The two type of objects are handled differently in both the cases. Mutable objects are handled differently. The changes are occurring in the to the original list or the original object. Okay, but in the case of immutable objects like strings or tuples, the changes are not occurring to the original object, but the changes are occurring to the copy of the object within the function. Okay, so like we see here also, what happens, as can be depicted from this program. Okay, it is used as pass by value. Pass by value is here is for it is a type of resemblance to pass by value. Okay, you can't say that actually it is pass by value. It is pass by object reference only, but it acts like a pass by value reference. Okay, why? Because the changes are not reflected in the original parameter or original argument which is being passed to the function. Okay, now let's see the function here. It will not change the value of actual argument. As we can see here, what is the main program here? Here in the main program, we are first assigned this string. We have created a string Mohan, which has been assigned to the variable r. Okay, and then we are passing this variable r, or the object of the string to the function which is welcome. So here welcome is a function defined here, and what is there in welcome? This title is the string. The title is the argument or the parameter. Title is the parameter which will receive the argument, which will be the string which is passed to the function welcome here. So here r is the argument which has been passed to welcome, and here title is the parameter which will receive this argument. R is the argument which you are passing. What is there in this argument? The string Mohan is being passed here. Okay, and then title will receive this argument, which title is the parameter which is receiving this argument, this string argument. And then what we are doing inside the function, we are just concatenating this string, title string, with the hello. Okay, we are trying to add hello at the start of this title string. Whatever is there in the title string, we want to add hello before that. Okay, this will do this assignment operator. This concatenation statement will this assignment operator along with concatenation plus operator will add this hello string before the title string. Okay, the string held in the title variable. Then again, this function will end and we will return back to the main function. Okay, and then what will happen? We will be printing this new value of r, or the value of r which is existing in the main program after the function ends. So we can see, if many of you would have expected that if you haven't understood parameter passing, then you would expect that what will be printed? The hello Mohan would be printed here, which will be the value of the modified string. See, this string is modified within the function. Okay, but as strings are immutable objects, then what will happen? This r object which is being passed to the welcome function after this title parameter has received the object, then what it will do? This function will now create a copy of the object. Okay, this r object's copy will be created in the function. Okay, and what will happen? Whatever modification we want to carry out, that modification will be carried out, that operation will be carried out on the copied value, not the original value. The original value is the r object which has been passed to the function, but this, because strings are immutable, so this r object cannot be modified there. So what will happen? This r object's value will be copied in the function. Okay, before modification, if you try to modify, then before modification it will convert, it will create a copy of the object. Okay, and then modification will be done on the copied object, on the duplicate object within the function. Okay, so here what is this title? Before modification, this title is referring to the same object which has been passed. If you check it by using the id operator or id function, what you will get? Before the concatenation operation, this title will be having the same reference, will be holding the same object reference as that of the r variable. But after the concatenation has done within the function, and what will happen? After the modification has been done, then you will, if you want to check it, you can just by using the id function as we have done in the previous examples. If you check the id of title after concatenation, then you will see that within the function this title object will be referring to some other object, as you can see within the id function. This, why is it is referring to the other object? Because that object which is referring after modification is not the original string which was passed. It is that string which has been, which is the duplicate or the copied value of the original string. See, original object was some value which was referred by the variable r, okay, and then this string which is referred by title after modification is the duplicate object. It is a copied object, okay. First of all, what happens, this value of the r object will be copied inside a function, okay, before modification, and then after modification what happens, that modified value will be there in the duplicate object. So it will, that modified value is actually referring to that object is referring to the duplicate object within the function. That is not same as the original value which is in the which was passed to this function. That is why when you print this value of r in the main program, after execution, what happens, the next line with the print r here. So when you execute this print r, then what value will be printed? The original value of r which was there in the function, okay, there in the main function, which was Mohan here. See, Mohan was the value of the original string which was passed. So that value of the object will remain as it is even after execution of the function, because within the function what happened, only this function value was only this string was the copy of the string was modified and not the original string, okay. The copy of the original string was created within the function, and that copied value, that duplicate value was modified within the function, and that string had only the scope within the function only. So as soon as the function execution got over and we returned back to the main program, that string is no longer existing. That is why within the main function what we will get, we will be getting the value which is there, which we will getting the value of r which was the string, original string which has been passed before, which was passed to the function welcome here. That is why we get the value as Mohan. So I think I have made my point clear. If there are any confusions, then I will again explain this in the next video. So we will stop here for this video. Thank you.